Taking photos and video with mobile phones and smartphones has really exploded in recent years. And in 2023, going into 2024, it's only going to get even more popular. The problem is, how do you hold or mount that smartphone to make certain that you're getting the quality that you want? There's a lot of gadgets out there, but I'm going to show you something that's pretty new on the market. It is called the Platypod Grip, and it looks just like this. Very simple and easy, but it's very sturdy. So in this video, we're going to walk through what this offers and why you may want one. I've done a bit of iPhone photography, and for the average thing, just holding the camera or the phone in your hand up like this, take a photo with it, kind of works. But there are times when you want to do something that's a bit more precise, a bit more specific. Even video, you can see that I've got a little bit of handshake over here. And there's some nice things with newer phones where they eliminate that handshake as best they can, and you can do some of that in post-processing. But why worry about that when you can put it on a mount and then have a nice, stable platform environment? The problem has been that a lot of the mounts were just cheap and plastic and gimmicky sort of things like this one. And I don't even know who made this one or where it came from, but you can see like there's a little 1/4-inch screw thread on there. There's a knob on the back so I can twist this around. There's a knob over here so that I can change the width to try and accommodate the phone. And I can't pull it apart. I've got to slowly screw this thing open and close. And then that's it. So you can hold this, or maybe you might mount it on a little Manfrotto, I think it's called a Pixie tripod like this. And that gives you a little bit of flexibility. And I really like this grip. It's nice and comfortable to hold like this. Or as I showed, you can just spread this out. So it's a nice little grip. But this overall, I've gone through a number of these things because they're made out of cheap plastic. They break and they get crushed sometimes. It's really not all that good. There was a Kickstarter from the Platypod folks who had a similar problem. They were looking for something. They know there is a market out there for smartphone photography and videography. And they came up with this. This is called the Platypod Grip. And it's made out of the materials that you would expect from Platypod. So for example, if you get a Platypod, this one is the Ultra, they call this aircraft grade aluminum. Now, I don't know what makes it aircraft grade, but it's nice, it's solid, but yet it's also very lightweight, and it's a stable platform. So I can put that down and I could mount a ball head on it. And that could be either something like this little Benro ball head, or they've got their own thing called the Platyball, and that's a bit more strong and stable, and it gives you a lot of options. But now, what are you going to do for your smartphone? Well, you've got a small ball head built into this, or you could mount it on top of one of those. But let's take a look. All you have to do is it'll come in 2 pieces. So I'm going to spin this thing to take it off and show you. There's a tiny ball head right here, and you can just use this nice grip. I mean, it's large enough that you can get a grip on it, and you can work on it with gloves. And then this little ball head can swivel around, and then you can move it in any position you want. So you've got a 360-degree ball head, and that in itself is really handy. So you can kind of move this the way you want to. The nice part about this base, there's a couple of things. First off, there's a 1/4-inch there's a 3/8 inch here, and there's a couple of 1/4-inch things in here. So you've got different mounting options, however you want to use this. But this base itself is an ARCA Swiss compatible base. So if I let's go with this little Benro over here. I pull that out. I can slide this right in there, and then I can twist this. And then now I've got this on a ball head. So I've got all the flexibility of moving this around on whatever I want. So I can put that on a tripod. I can put it, on the Platypod. This one's the Ultra. There's also a couple of others that are larger than that. And it starts to give you a bit more flexibility. So now maybe you want to put this on the end of a tripod and move it over. You might put it on a C-stand, which is a good way to give you some top-down photography options. Or maybe you just want to walk around with it. So let me pull this thing off. And I might get something like the Platypod handle. And I can attach that way. If I'm vlogging or doing something like that, Well, now I've got a nice grip and handle, and I can put my attachment over here for my phone on it and just kind of walk around that way. Or I could just set it down and attach this to the Platypod, and it gives me a nice way to put something down for some quick photography. If I were doing an interview someplace, I could set it up that way and then just pick it up and walk around and go vlogging. But let's put this together. So this part over here, I really like because it's very easy. You don't have to undo those little twisty knobs in order to get this to hold your smartphone. And it's got a good amount of tension to it. But this phone of mine, this is an iPhone 11 Pro or Max, whatever they call their biggest one. And I just simply stick it right in here and it holds. And I've got this inside of a case. One of the things I've found with some of the other mounts that I've had is that they didn't have enough room to fit when your phone was inside of a case. So you ended up having to take your phone out of the case, put it on the mount, and then put it back on when you're done with that. Now, this thing still has plenty of room to expand to even larger phones. I don't know how big some of the Android phones are or some of the new foldable phones that are coming out, but they claim that this will be able to hold it. And it doesn't have any problem holding onto the phone itself. So let's take this off for a moment. There is one other thing that I want to show you here, and that is on the side, there are a couple of cold shoes. I don't know if you can see them there, but this is going to be a really ridiculous example. But let's say that I had a microphone, and I'm sorry I don't have a smaller mic, but this is, one I've got for my Rode that I've got for my DSLRs. And so right next to your smartphone, you could have a microphone, you could have some lights that come out, or anything else that is something you can mount on a cold shoe, and it'll just hold on right there. So that's a nice little feature. And you've got one on each side, depending upon how you want to work it. So as I said, you simply take this. As you can see, there are the holes down there, the 1/4 inch and the 3/8 inch. And you've got a 1/4 inch mount up top here. And you just simply put it on, spin it around until you get it to a nice, stable position. So now all you have to do is turn this knob, and you can move this around any way you want. Let's say that I want to have it vertically this way, and then you can kind of face it the direction you want. You twist the knob over here. It's very easy to use. And then now I can go ahead and put in my phone and mount it just like that. So now I've got a nice little system over here for doing photography. I can still, if I had this on a different ball head, I could do things. If I'm holding the grip, I can kind of move it around however I want to. I've got a nice stable platform. If I put this down on the Ultra Platypod, and if things don't line up that way, well, I just simply move my ball head around where I want it to, and I'm good to go. All right, so one of the things that I thought about that might be a problem is this side. You're going to obstruct a little bit of your view that way, but that's going to be the same as if you use something like this. So that's not necessarily a problem. For iPhone users, one of the things that you can do is if you want to walk around and maybe even do selfies where you've got the good camera over here rather than the one that's on the inside that doesn't have quite as much resolution. If you have an Apple Watch, which just like this, it actually has a little remote camera app on there. So you could take your Apple Watch off, put it on your phone, and it's just showing my lock right over there. But here's what you could do. Let's say that you were doing selfies and you want to use this camera. Well, you put this perhaps over on the other side, and it'll give you, on this display, it'll give you a little bit of a screen that you can see yourself while you're taking your photos or videos with the better camera that's on the back of it. And I know that's not part of the Platypod itself, but it's just a little tip in case it helps you out. But this gives you a very versatile way of doing your smartphone photos or video on a nice, stable platform. So where can you get this? It is available now. I just got mine because I did a Kickstarter, and I'm recording on December 20th, 2023. So it's available on the Platypod website. Go to platypod.com, and it is $34.99. Now, I'll grant you, that's more than I paid for this. but also how many of these little cheap plastic things have I bought over the years? And these things, like I said, it starts off functional, but then they end up breaking on me, or they just simply don't work as well, or something else happens that gives me a pause because it doesn't have the same flexibility with the ball head on there, and it's not made of the same kind of sturdy material that we have over here, and it doesn't have an ARCA Swiss mounting point or multiple different types of screw mounts on the bottom. And you're getting something over here with this Platypod Grip that's going to last much, much longer and be much more versatile. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm not an affiliate for this. I don't think that Platypod even has an affiliate program. So you can go to platypod.com and check it out for yourself. If you like it, go ahead, pick one up for yourself. If you want to, pick one up for a friend or a family member. And I don't know what the shipping times are. They say on their website that generally orders placed Monday through Friday before 12 noon Eastern time ship the same day. Weekend orders will ship on Monday. But who knows what shipping time is going to be like. Right now, I'm recording this a few days before Christmas, so shipping is always slow at this time. But if you see this later on, go ahead, take a look. Now, something else they've noted on here is that the price is expected to go up in January. So if you're seeing this now, if you like the idea, you may want to go ahead and place your order. But I don't know what kind of price increase they'll be talking about. But I think that it's very handy. And of all the different types of little iPhone or smartphone mounts that I've found for photography, this is the most versatile, the most solid, and compatible with some of the other Platyball products or Platypod products that I have. It comes in a handy little box, so it's easy to get over to you. And what I like is on the back, you can see there's a QR code. There's some instructions there. But if you go ahead and scan that code, it'll take you to a web page that gives you more information about it. And that's kind of your documentation as well. All right, that's all I've got to say. I just wanted to share this Platypod Grip with you. If you like this video, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel out. It tells our YouTube overlords we've done something right. They'll share this with more photographers, and hopefully more people will get some benefit out of this. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in the next video.